We're ending our time in Vancouver in a very Canadian way.
That was cool.
We've mostly recovered from last night's eating extravaganza.
Oh, it looks delicious. Ooh. Oh. And now we're kicking off our last day in Vancouver at Lynn Canyon Park. And there's a suspension bridge! Woo!
And the even better part about this park is that it's totally free. So in Vancouver, there's a park called Capilano Suspension Bridge Park, and we had wanted to go for so long, but it's so expensive. So we finally went about a month ago doing a project for a company, and it was like 100 Canadian dollars for both of us to go, which is crazy. We get there like 20 minutes before they open, and like the tour buses of people have already lined up. It's a madhouse. So we get there, the bridge I just walked on was completely packed. Like you had to squeeze past people. They have a bunch of other like attractions and stuff as well, and it's a really cool place, but it's just so crowded, and we were like, wow, I don't know if we could ever spend $100 on this ever again. So our little secret to Vancouver is to come to Lynn Canyon. This bridge is totally free, and there's trails you can walk around too, and the bridge may not be like as long or as big as Capilano. They don't have all the like treetop adventure stuff as well, but I mean, it's free and it's so beautiful, and there's like a waterfall you can see when you look off the side of the bridge. So this place is becoming more popular. We're here like 7 a.m., which is a kind of when they open, I think, and no one's here. We have the whole bridge to ourselves. So it might get busier later in the day because I know the secret's getting out, but highly recommend checking this out over Capilano.
This place is funny for me because, well, Catherine will tell you.
So, be careful if it's wet. We came last time, I don't remember when, but it was wet or like a tiny bit icy.
It was cold.
Kona's afraid of bridges, so I was carrying her across the bridge and I slipped real bad. We like flew up in the air. I mean, in my mind, it was like in the movies where like you fly up and you're like, whoa!
All your stuff
and like, yeah, and everything's flying, and we like landed on our backs. I don't know if it was that dramatic, but that's how it felt to me. And Kona was probably like, what the heck's going on? Now I hate bridges even more. It was really funny. We were both okay, thankfully.
Yeah, it sounds mean for me to laugh, but
I laughed.
Pretty funny.
I laughed. It hurt a little bit, but I laughed. It was really funny, and you know, Kona's probably traumatized now, so we didn't make her go across the bridge today.
No.
She went a little bit on her own, but we were like, well, let her do what she wants, and then we will just go around the bridge if we want to go explore other trails. And now we're in the city, and behind me right here is the Olympic cauldron from the 2010 Winter Games, which is really cool. So back when the Olympics were here, they like lit this thing up with fire. That would have been so cool to see. Another really cool thing about downtown Vancouver is that it's right on the water, so you can watch these seaplanes take off right from this like balcony right by the Olympic cauldron. And the seaplanes are so cool. If you like small planes, which I don't love them, I highly recommend checking it out to see like, the city from above, the mountains. There's one actually, I think, like rearing up to go out right now, and we watched one a little bit ago fly away. So it's really cool. And there's also a floating gas station out on the water, either to fill up the planes or the boats, I'm not totally sure, but it's not every day you see a floating Chevron. So just a quick walk from the waterfront area is probably our favorite part of Vancouver, called Gastown.
Yeah, so Gastown was one of the first like downtown areas, and it's a funny story. It's named after a guy named Gassy Jack who started one of the first saloons here in Vancouver in the 1800s.
Hence the name Gastown. So we love this area because like compared to the more like modern, like taller buildings that Vancouver has, it's just very old looking. The architecture's cool. I don't know if it's cobblestone's the right word, but like brick or cobblestone kind of streets. So it's just really fun to walk around. Or it does like a cool song that's like, doo doo doo. I don't know. It's really cool. And so I was standing there waiting to film it to show you guys, and there was like a busload of tourists that had showed up also waiting, and it never went off. And I felt really sad for them because I've seen it before, but maybe they've never seen it. So kind of a bummer, but it is still cool to see even when it's not playing the song. And yeah, it's like a weird little tourist attraction in Vancouver. I don't really know why.
I mean, steam clocks can take Sundays off too sometimes.
Yeah, maybe they sleep on Sundays, which, speaking of that, we are freaking tired.
Yeah, I need coffee. That no caffeine headache starting to kick in.
We're like kind of feeling a little groggy. So we actually have an Instagram follower named Chelsea who lives in Vancouver who gave us a ton of recommendations leading up to this weekend. So we're going to go check out one of her coffee recommendations, which is Aubade. I don't know. Aubade. We've never been. We don't know how to say it, but we hear it's a really cool coffee experience.
So we learned it's pronounced obeyed, which is a French word that sort of means to the morning or of the morning. So we're having an awesome coffee experience here. I got a pour over, which is an African blend of 3 coffees. And we also got a flat white, which has the same roast in there.
And the cool thing is he used a wine aerator, right?
Yeah,
is that right?
I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, wine aerator. And so this one was not aerated and this one was. And by using the wine aerator, it brings out more of the flavor. So I'm curious to see if we can actually tell the difference.
Yeah. So this is the unaerated one. Still delicious. And then here is the aerated. Never had this before. Yeah, you can definitely tell the difference.
I got the flat white and I became hooked on flat whites in the UK last summer, and I'm really excited to try it. And so one thing to note is all the milk that he uses is vegan. It's a mixture of oat, coconut, rice, and hazelnut. He said mostly oat though, which is my favorite as well, so I'm really excited to try this. And it's the same coffee as the one that we got, like with the pour over. Oh, that's really good. That milk's really good. Yeah. He said he makes the milk himself and he like does it like to complement the coffee. This guy's a genius. He's so knowledgeable. That's really good. It's not like overly sweet. It's just creamy. I love it.
That was cool. That was like one of the
top like coffee experiences I think we've ever had.
Never had something like that.
Yeah, like it's the smallest little spot. There's like 4 or 5 bar stools, and it's in an antique shop, which I think we forgot to mention, which also made it way cooler. Yeah, just really cool. The owner just so knowledgeable.
Oh yeah.
Told us tons of interesting stuff about coffee. So I keep thinking I don't know if we still said the name right earlier. He said there's multiple ways to say the name, so we're still not 100% sure like the real way. But I think it's like up to your interpretation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was incredible. Highly recommend coming here. They are going to be moving at some point in the future, so just keep an eye out and see where they will be, because I don't want you to show up here and then they're not here anymore. Yeah. But yeah, highly recommend it.
It's
such a cool spot.
The sign outside says it's a top 150 coffee shop by Lonely Planet
Yeah.
in the world.
Nuts.
Isn't that crazy?
So thank you, Chelsea. You just blew our coffee minds.
Just never had something like that before. That was cool.
Yeah, speechless. So if you're in Vancouver for a short period of time and you're like, what are the must-see, must-do things while I'm here? Well, one, I'd say Granville Island Public Market, which we went to 2 vlogs ago. And then I'd also say Stanley Park, which is where we are now.
Yeah, this place is huge. It's 20% bigger than Central Park in New York City, so there's tons to see. You can walk. Yeah. You can bring your own bike, rent a bike, something like that. And
we rented bikes the first time, and it was so much fun, but with Kona, we can't do that. So unfortunately today we're walking. But yeah, a lot to see, a lot to do. It can take like a full day if you want it to, or you could ride a bike and it takes like an hour or 2. But definitely come check this out. Yeah. There are a lot of awesome like city views, water views, mountain views.
There's a beach.
Yeah, beaches. It's awesome.
So one cool thing on the walk along the water of Stanley Park is the 9 o'clock gun. As the name says, they shoot it off every night at 9 o'clock. It doesn't really say why. I'm guessing for like a sign of strength or something, but this cannon or gun was shipped over in the late 1800s from England.
We've never heard it go off. Maybe one day we'll come down here at
Yeah.
9 o'clock just to hear it.
Apparently it's very loud.
Yes, lots of warning signs. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to go all the way around the park, so we're gonna turn back here, but we are about to go check out that bridge a little bit closer. It's called Lionsgate Bridge. We drove over it earlier. You may have seen it, but it's this really cool like greenish blue color. So we're gonna go to a place called Prospect Park next to go get a closer look. So Prospect Point is this beautiful overlook overlooking the North Vancouver area, the water, Lionsgate Bridge. It's a bit touristy, there tends to be a lot of people, but for good reason, it's awesome. They also have a restaurant and cafe if you get hungry, and they have ice cream. But our favorite part is walking across the bridge. We're ending our time in Vancouver in a very Canadian way. We got poutine and Tim Hortons.
What a day. I'm so excited for this. Oh my gosh.
Some background on the poutine. We get it at this place called Fritz European Fry House, and it's the only place we've ever really had poutine, and the reason for that, Kona's so jealous. The reason for that is that they have gluten-free gravy, so I can actually have some, which is awesome. And it's a really tiny place. Don't expect to like sit there. It's more just like grab and go. But oh man, I watched the lady just like layer everything. So if you're not familiar with poutine, it's French fries, cheese curds, and then gravy, and then we added pulled pork to the top. So
going in on this?
I'm gonna let Kona have one so she stops being loud. Yeah, it looks delicious. She was just like overflowing it. I almost got us larger ones, but I think this will be good.
It'll be alright.
The best part is like the cheese curds melt from the hot gravy. Mmm. I'm so messy. That's so good.
Oh, I know, Kona.
No. Cheers.
Boom.
So our time in Vancouver has officially come to an end. What a fun 2 days.
It was a blast.
We had an awesome time.
Yeah.
If you missed any of the stuff we got up to, make sure to check out our PNW playlist. We have all the Vancouver vlogs on there. We just like, I guess growing up in Texas, we never thought about coming to Canada.
Yeah.
No one really talked about Vancouver. So for us, it just feels like a severely like underrated place to go.
Yeah.
And now living in the Pacific Northwest, people come here all the time. And we just love it. We love it here so much, and we can't wait to come back in the van.
Yeah, I love it. I love all the parks in the city. That's just
lots of green
cool. I mean,
spaces.
there's lots of them in Seattle too, but I don't know. It's just really nice here, and there's lots to do, and lots of good food, and parks, and stuff to see, and I love it here.
So we hope you enjoyed following along and seeing all the things we love about Vancouver. If you want to come here for yourself, we have a guide on our website with more ideas of things to do and places to eat. Coming up for us, we are going to Austin this week to work on the van together, which never happens, so we're really excited. We're going to do an awesome Austin vlog too, so stay tuned for that. And then, yeah, it's pretty much just working on the van, and then we leave Seattle in about a month-ish to head down to Texas to move into the van.
Exciting.
So we'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
And this is some...
The water downtown.
Oh, no.
Oh no, not the hiccups.
Oh, no.
Ah, not the hiccups.